their opinion is just a bunch of bull crap. I do. I truly believe that.
Prosecutor Joe Deters blasts a federal court decision that overturns the convictions of 2 child killers. Evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Rob is off tonight. The case of Aaron Raines, the 1992 murder, could now end up in the U.S. Supreme Court.
2 men admit that they lured the 10-year-old boy into a building and then beat him to death. Well, now the United States Court of Appeals says they didn't get a fair trial. Joe Deters says he will never stop trying to get justice for Aaron Raines.
Aaron Raines' beaten body was found in an abandoned building on West 8th Street in 1992. Wounds on his crushed skull matched the pipe found nearby. Darryl Gumm and Michael Bies ended up confessing, saying he was beaten because he refused to perform sex acts on them.
They should never get out of prison, ever. What they did to that little boy it's sickening.
A Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals decision overturning the convictions makes that a possibility. It alleges evidence was withheld, some trial testimony was hearsay, and some leads on other suspects who confessed were not followed.
We're going to go out and we're going to interview these witnesses and see what they really said, because I don't believe a thing out of the state public defender's office.
The case could be sent back to Hamilton County for a new trial.
I would never stop retrying this case. It was overwhelming in evidence. They're on videotape confessing.
Deters says confessions match the physical injuries documented by the coroner.
Now, suddenly, they have an advocate at some level, or perhaps a group of advocates in a court who weren't here, do not live here, do not work here, know nothing about it. We do.
Eileen Gallagher was in Lower Price Hill then. She was president of the community council and repeatedly wrote letters to the city asking it to tear down the abandoned buildings or, quote, a child is going to get hurt. She has a file that includes articles from the trial and about the broken community. She says the court decision will not be accepted.
And we will work with any legal force, with our neighbors, with the Raines family, to see that the justice that was determined 20 years ago will be continued and those men remain in prison.
A year after Aaron's murder, the abandoned building where he was killed was torn down. A lot nearby is now a memorial garden. Some people here don't remember how the 10-year-old died. Others won't forget it. Deb Dixon, Local 12 News.
Gumm and Bies were sentenced to die for the murder, but they were taken off death row after each killer said they were mentally retarded and the courts agreed.